What is going on, everybody? I am Rob Westerman of GBP Daily, and welcome to Rob's Table Talk. I'm here like I am every day to talk with you guys about some Packers football. Just want to say thank you to all who have hopped on during the chats, commented. I appreciate it. And we are now in the second week overall, my daily chats with you guys, and I've loved every minute of it. Greetings from Switzerland. Welcome. Thank you for hopping on. I appreciate it. Practice number 12 taking place this morning. Coach is on just a little bit ago. It's going to be a shorter practice, somewhat of a quicker paced walkthrough. Just got a notification that 12 has got the day off. That is Aaron Rodgers. So Jordan Love going to be taking over the ship for the day. Closed practice, so unless you're credentialed, you will not be able to see it. But if you are in the area this week up in Green Bay, tomorrow's practice is open to the public. So be sure to get out there, catch the players riding down, enjoy what Coach said this morning, what will be a 2-hour practice tomorrow. As many of you know, we play the San Francisco 49ers this Friday for our first preseason game. Jordan Love will get the start out there in San Fran, so I wouldn't expect to see many starters playing at all on Friday. Most, if not everyone out there, will be backups. But nonetheless, I am excited to see some Packers football. I don't care if it's preseason. I'll be watching just because these games are super important for guys trying to make the roster. Trying to find a spot in the practice squad. So if you've been following along training camp and the battles going on, you've got an idea who will be out there and what it really means for them. No crazy news, which is not always a bad thing. No new injuries, no new players coming off of injuries. So good, kind of bad. Before I dive into the chat, which is the main reason why I'm here to chat with you guys, let's go over what the offensive line looks like from the unofficial Packers depth chart. Starting O-line, Yash at left tackle, John Runyon Jr. at right guard, Josh Myers at left guard, Josh Myers at center, Jake Hansen at right guard, Royce Newman at right tackle. That is an interesting and very inexperienced starting line at this point. Even when David comes back, they'll have some things to prove, obviously, with the guys floating around and who's going to play where. Hopefully that is going to be week one. And if he's not ready, this is probably the group they'll roll with until he's back. Same goes for Eldon Jenkins. Tore his ACL last year against the Vikings. It'll be interesting to see how they maneuver those guys around. I do think when David and Elton are back out there, this will be a pretty good group, but only time will tell. All right, folks, already a bunch of people in the comments. Let's jump on in here. Bartolazzi, go Pack, go. Thank you for hopping on. I appreciate it. Love talking with you guys. Jacob, I'm doing fantastic. How are you? Thanks for joining. Link Dog 13, sup, playa? What's going on, playa? How you doing? Thanks for hopping on. Let's talk about some Packers here. King AJ, let's go. Something I look forward to every day now. Go Pack, go. King AJ, you the man. I appreciate that. This is something I look forward to every day too. Chatting Packers, hanging out. I would do it all day if I could. So I'm right there with you, King AJ. Something I look forward to all day long. It's to Aaron. Read somewhere Stokes is having a rough camp. I wouldn't say from what I've seen. I've seen some practices. I follow along every day with the guys that are there. I don't think he's having a rough camp. I just think every time he forces an incompletion, there's not much reporting on it because it's not as exciting as Romeo Doubs catching a touchdown or kind of one of those things. So I feel like, he might not be having a crazy camp, but I don't think it's a rough one from what I've seen. But you never know. Speaking of Eric Stokes, yesterday I was in Green Bay. I went to Chick-fil-A after practice, waiting in line. This guy ahead of me was taking forever. That guy ahead of me was Eric Stokes. He wasn't taking forever, but he was ahead of me in line at Chick-fil-A. Business as usual. A few people came up to him, asked for some pictures. I went to the bathroom, washed my hands before I eat, because that's what I do. And somebody in there was like, hey, do you know who that guy was, that Packer player? Because Eric was dressed up in his, Packer top. And I said, yeah, bro, that's Eric Stokes. And he's like, no shit, huh? I said, yeah, 21. And he's like, perfect. I'm going to go ask him for a picture. I said, okay. So, yep. Chick-fil-A yesterday after practice. Eric Stokes just in line. It's like everybody else. So that was cool to see. Chris, I'm doing good. Thanks for hopping on. And thank you for asking. How are you doing? It's a Tuesday. Doesn't feel like a Tuesday. I was traveling yesterday from Green Bay, so felt like a Sunday yesterday. Monday feels like it today. What's your record prediction this year? Green Bay fan 2022. Went over this yesterday. I feel like it's a daily topic. But just a fair warning, my predictions last year and just my predictions overall, they're pretty biased / optimistic. So, yeah, most of them were wrong last year. I don't think I predicted a loss at all. Just every week. I know we're gonna have a few losses this year. That's obvious. But every week, I would just work myself up and say, you know what, we can beat this team. And going through the week, the headlines coming out during practice and from our team, from the opponent's team, I just have the mindset. I'm like, you know what? I feel like we can beat this team, and we have a chance to beat every single team. We're one of the better teams in the league, so that's kind of where I was from every single week. And last year I was only wrong 4 times out of 17 games, so that's pretty damn good. In the last week, I don't even know if I did a prediction because I knew the starters weren't playing for the whole game. So 13 out of 17. I'd say that's pretty damn good. So my predictions this year, 12-5, 13-4, right in that range. Hopefully 1, 2, or 3 seed. I'd be fine with a 2, a 3. Be cool to have a 2 seed. Get that 1 seed weight that we've been wearing that hasn't really worked out the last couple of years off our back. 2 seed, play somebody, play the 7 seed right off, smoke them, and hopefully the 1 seed gets upset by the NFC title game and we can host one in Lambeau. So Nikki Hams 4 asks, how do you feel about our wide receiver group? I feel pretty good. I'm kind of right with Coach. He feels good about the group that's in there. Going to see what they've got through training camp, who will survive the cut and make the team. It'll be interesting. I feel like there's 7, 8 guys who can start, who can make a 53-man roster on most teams, but I don't see us keeping more than 6. So whether Juwan Winfrey's left off or Samori Toure, it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. Danny Davis has been having a good camp, making some plays, it seems like almost every day. Stacking days is what Coach always says. But, Nikki, I feel good. I don't see them making any other moves as far as bringing somebody in unless we have some injuries, which hopefully we do not. So thank you for the question. Ben, how are you? I'm doing good from Canada. I appreciate you hopping on. How's the weather up there? It's 2. Haven't heard much about Quay Walker. I've heard a decent amount. Nothing too crazy, but he's out there with the ones. They gave him the starting spot on the unofficial depth chart, according to Packers.com. So he's been doing good enough. I'll tell you what, though. I saw him yesterday walking up from practice, and during practice, obviously, he's massive. And I think everybody covering him or covering the team has kind of said that as well. He's just a big dude. So he's fast. He's a rookie. Was listening to a little Andy Herman this morning, pack a day, and he said the same thing. It's going to be, he's going to take his leaps. He's going to have some rookie learning moments, but I think overall that pick's going to show out. And somebody asked me yesterday who the rookie that I'm most excited to see this year, and that's Quay Walker. So apologize for earlier. It is practice number 13. Getting updates as I'm on here. They're practicing right now, closed to the public. I also saw Mason Crosby is practicing with the team for the first time, so that's great news. He had a rough year last year. Don't get me wrong, but Mason's one of my all-time favorite Packers, so maybe a little bias in this too. I always thought he was going to be back this year regardless. I didn't think he was going to get cut. I didn't think they were going to make a move for a different kicker. So I'm glad that he's back. We've had another kicker in camp, and he's not actually competing. I think he's just there for a body. So Mason bounced back year. Last year, I don't think all was on him. Special teams unit as a whole, as everyone knows, is a mess. So from the blocking up front, from the holding, from Bajorquez, wasn't the greatest. And then the kicking obviously wasn't the greatest either. And if he can improve on the kickoffs and consistently hit it out of the end zone, I think he'll be just fine. I think he'll be nailing field goals like he always does. And after a clutch game winner, I think everybody will kind of forgive him for his year last year. I don't have anything against him. Some people do. I get it. So, Gage, thanks for hopping on, man. I appreciate it. Joe, hello from Germany. Well, hello from U.S. It is good to see you. Thanks for hopping on. A little quick one today. Got a busy day here. Ray, I speak some Spanish, but I cannot read your comment. Apologize for that. Bursey, Pat O'Donnell thoughts. I'm going to end it on this one here. Pat O'Donnell thoughts. The new punter, that is Pat, came over from the Bears. Corey Bajorquez last year didn't do too bad, but when it got cold, he didn't really show up as many of us were hoping he would. So I'm excited for Pat. I don't think he's ever missed a game in his career due to injury or anything like that. So, and he's been punting in the cold for his whole career over there in Chicago. So he's had some good punts during camp. I don't think they've done a whole lot. They use the jugs machine for the punt return portion of practice for the most part. But when he has punted, I've seen the reports, and they measure him, they time him. It seems like he's doing pretty good. So, Bursey, thank you for the comment. I appreciate it. Last one here before I hop off. Lurking, bro, with the 52. Yes, sir. Got to go with Clay. I love Clay. I love me some Clay. Okay, folks. I'm going to call it a day here for Rob's Table Talk. Another great chat in the books. Thank you to all for hopping on with me and hanging out. I will be live every single day, Monday through Friday, just to talk it up with you guys. I got no agenda, no ads to push, no nothing. Just here to talk Packers, say what's up. And if it's something you enjoy doing as well, please subscribe to the YouTube channel. I greatly appreciate it. Follow me on Twitter, whether it's my personal at Rob Westerman 3 or at GBP Daily. Shoot me a message, shoot me a tweet. I'm always down to shoot the shit with you guys. So thanks again for joining, and I'll catch you later.